This is a presentation on the analysis and recommendation for Pine Green Consortium's cultivation business strategy upon the legalization of recreational marijuana in California. The cities covered in this presentation are Fullerton, Garden Grove, Huntington Beach, Laguna Hills, and Placentia. This presentation is brought to you by Group 3, Kevin Copeland, Jennifer Feaster, Jason Hogeboom, and Jeremy Richer.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Feaster, going over the recent history of marijuana. Medical marijuana was voted into California law in 1996. Since then, 25 states plus Washington, D.C. have passed some form of marijuana law. Colorado and Washington State were the first to make history in 2012 by legalizing the recreational use of cannabis. In Colorado's first year of legalization alone, the state collected so much tax from this industry that it was considered illegal according to the 1992 Taxpayer Bill of Rights. And just to put this into perspective, California represents an even larger market. Opportunities. As I just mentioned in the last slide, California represents a potentially larger market than Colorado. Let's take a deeper look into this. The market estimate for recreational cannabis in California in the first year of legalization alone is estimated to be $1.4 billion, and it's estimated to grow to $6.4 billion by the year 2020. To narrow this down a little bit, let's look at Orange County's potential. So the annual projection for Orange County for recreational cannabis sales is greater than $374 million. For those parties who are interested in going into this industry, they're not confined to one product, which is the flower of the marijuana plant, which is the most common form. You can take this and turn it into concentrates, which have become extremely popular in the last few years. There are infused products, edibles such as, say, brownies, cookies, candy bars, things of that nature. People have been creating tinctures, suppositories, topicals, meaning lotions, or like butters for sore joints and things like that. People have also been taking the plant and literally juicing it and drinking that juice. And people are coming up with other innovative approaches all the time. There is something for everyone in this industry, and it's really a great one to get into right now.
Kevin Copeland. I'll be going over the threats regarding the recreational marijuana market in California. One major threat this market holds is that the federal government still classifies marijuana as a Schedule I type of drug. This means that if a state does allow the use for medical and or recreational marijuana use, it is still considered illegal in the federal government's eyes. This causes the banks not to comply with any business in this market in fear of federal government backlash. They will not provide the necessary loans these businesses need to have them operate as efficiently as possible, and it will cause them to carry a lot of cash on premise, which will expose them to be a future victim of a theft or robbery. Another thing is the safety of the products. Since they have no support from the federal government, they will not have the support of the FDA. They will have to pay independent labs to determine if their products are safe for consumer consumption. And again, they won't have the vast years of research as the FDA would, and independent labs could come up with variations in the results. This could possibly lead into a big lawsuit if a customer were to get harmed or ill from using one of these products. Another problem with this market is the energy required to grow cannabis. It currently takes a lot of energy to grow cannabis, and right now on a national level it's a $6 billion fee, and it's only going to increase as more states decide to legalize marijuana. And lastly, another major threat is the current competition in the medical marijuana market in California. You have companies such as Ease and Harborside Health who could expand their business in the recreational market if California were to legalize it. They already have the money to support it. They have the data, they have the technology. They could possibly set up high barriers to entry to make sure no outside company comes in and operates on their playing field. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jason Hogum, and I'm going to talk about the current state of legalization of medical marijuana cultivation and commercial use in the 5 cities that were given. Basically, all 5 cities have the same exact policies that no, it is banned. They do not and are not looking to make it legalized even if Prop 64 passes. They all kind of want to see what is going to happen if Prop 64 does pass and kind of benchmark other cities that are doing it. So they currently do not feel like that they want to be on the cutting edge of this situation. So they're gonna kind of take a kick back and see what happens, kind of stating issues with concerns of public safety and criminalization, as well as keeping all kinds of marijuana from underage kids. So currently, none of these cities are allowing it or will allow it anytime soon. The taxes and fees for all 5 cities for cultivation of marijuana look the same. So the electricity is all supplied by Southern California Edison, and we're looking at approximately a little over $300 a day. The city sales tax are all at 8%, and then the state cultivation tax, of course, is the same for each city at $9.25 per ounce for flowers and $2.75 per ounce for leaves. Now, when we look at the permits and licenses, none of these cities currently allow the legalization of cultivation. So our best estimate is to look at the current fees for current businesses in their town. None of these fees are very significant, just from $100 to a few $100s, depending on the size of business, how much they're using, and things of that nature. But it would be important to note that if any of these cities did decide to legalize the marijuana in their town, that they would most likely add additional taxes on for the sale of marijuana. Next, Jeremy Richer is going to tell us about our go or no-go decision.
It's now time for us to make our recommendation to Pine Green Consortium. We recommend no go. It is not effective to move forward with any of the covered cities. The biggest reason is that they all currently have prohibited all forms of commercial cannabis. There's one city in Fullerton that had looked at allowing medical cannabis. They decided to put the issue off till after the election. But within the June 2nd meeting in 2016, they had issues such as regulating the product and making sure that it'd be safe. In fact, the last bullet point that they mentioned was if they were going to allow cannabis and overturn the ban, they should tax and fee as high as possible because it could put public safety in danger. As you can see, even if they were to move forward with medical cannabis, it doesn't guarantee anything in regards to recreational cannabis, and even if it did, taxing and feeing as high as possible, it is certainly less than ideal for starting a new business. Therefore, it's more of a benefit to look to other cities that might be willing to be pioneers in this industry. And for example, the cities such as Desert Hot Springs has been potential that other companies have looked into. So there would be other cities besides the ones that we covered that would be more advantageous. Thank you.
And thank you for taking your time to watch our presentation.